Hi and welcome to Penser Bank and our analyst presentation of Maha Energy. My name is Markus Almerud and I'm an analyst here at the bank. So Maha Energy is an upstream oil and gas producer with assets in Brazil, the US and Oman. The share is around 910 Swedish krona and the market cap is around $150 million. There have been significant changes to the company and asset base over the past half year, and the balance sheet is significantly stronger than before the transactions. The share keeps lagging the movement in oil prices, and we're here to follow up on the changes and the latest developments. So let's start with the new assets and production. So the divestment of Maha Brazil for $138 million and the acquisition of DBO 2.0 are now finalized. In the second quarter, Maha produced almost 2,000 barrels per day of oil, and in July 2,175. As a comparison, before the transaction, Maha produced around 2,500 barrels per day, and that was in second half of 2022. In other words, the new assets are currently producing at 80 to 85% of the rate before the transaction, and we keep growing. So it hence come out of these transactions with a large part of production replaced, but with significant firepower for new transactions. So let's talk about that firepower. So it's our belief that there are new acquisitions on the way. Maha currently has around $150 million in cash. New transactions will be financed through a combination of equity and debt. We think about 50-60% debt, and the firepower is hence around $250 million. So we understand it's mainly looking for assets in Latin America, and we believe that there might be an opportunity to get attractive assets at attractive prices, given the lack of equity financing in the market. There's a good amount of debt available. If we use similar multiples as were used in the transaction with DBO, that is 0.2 to 0.25 times NAV, we see the possibility of adding around $1 billion in assets, which can be compared with the current combined asset value around $175 million, which means that any transactions could be completely transformational. The change of top management, the current CEO steps up as chairman, and one of the DBO founders steps in as CEO, will allow for more intense work on this acquisition pipeline. A couple of words on Oman before wrapping up and drawing conclusions. So the minimum work obligations for Block 70 in Oman were finalized in the second quarter. 8 wells were tested for the short term. 5 of these produced at an average of 300 barrels per day, or a total of around 1,500 barrels per day. 3 had to be suspended. So Maha has now asked for an extension of this initial phase in order to get more background for deciding whether to declare commerciality or not. No timelines has been given. So finally, on valuation. So Maha has a market cap of around $150 million. They have cash of around $150 million. The net debt stands at around $120 million. Assets are valued to around $175 million. If I add up the asset values and the net debt, we reach a value of around 18 krona, about twice the current share price. So I think the share is mispriced as it is, and there's plenty of optionality from the possibility of capitalizing on the cash position. Catalysts include further proof of production ramping up and new deals. Oil prices moving should be the main driver of the share, but for some reason they don't correlate. This will normalize over time. I think we can look forward to a very exciting near future. Companies in transformation always create interesting situations. This is just the beginning.